St. Leopold. There's the lineup. Onee Mascal Beckles of Barbados in 1. Jaden Reed, Cayman Islands in 2. Zion Campbell, Bahamas 3. Shakim, McKay, Trinidad and Tobago in 4. Bryan Levell in 5. Sandre Davidson, his Jamaican teammate in 6. Onee Bell, British Virgin Islands in 7. And in lane 8, Nazia John of Grenada. Bryan Levell, fastest in the field at 20.53 seconds this season. Did that winning the Carifta trials here in Kingston. Forego the 100 meters to focus on the 200 meters, of course, coming off double victory at the Jamaican High School Championships. And so he wanted to be rested for this one.
Has come down from the 4 hurdles and the 400 and the 200. After starting in class 3 in the 100 meters, has come back to those events with a plum. His times 10.21 last year, 20.53 this season. A double at the Jamaican High School Championships have marked him as a sprinter to watch. Was in the Big People's final at the Nationals last year with the big guns, and is showing that he deserves to be there.
In the 200 meters, the second fastest in this field, the Grenadian Nazia John missed the 100 meters because of flight issues, made it for the 200.
I wonder if he's a little bit tired from the flight delays. Has looked sluggish in the early going in his races and comes on down the stretch. 20.74 last year in the World Junior Championships in Nairobi, and at college in the States has come to represent his country in Kingston.
Normally the jet lag doesn't hit you on the first day, Hubert. It's like the second and third days that you really start to feel that fatigue start to set in. So you could be right, jet lag.
Zachary Evans, he a medalist in the 100 meters, was in the long jump as well. Sees himself on the screen here and his friends, and they enjoy the moment. They're on center stage in Kingston. These fans, quiet and contemplative. 200 will shake them up in a few minutes.
Of course, it's free to get into the bleachers, so if you're watching and you want to come down and get a piece of the action, there's still time. There's Sandre Davidson, sub-21 man, anchor leg on the Jamaican 4x1 team that won gold in 39.15 last night.
National Junior 100 champion last year, and 20.90 for 200 this season.
Sandre Davidson, some people says that he reminds them of the great Usain Bolt. His anchor leg was just so Bolt-like that people made that comparison. But it was a very good run by the Jamaican team last night, and Sandre Davidson did a very good job on that anchor leg.
Lots of potential for Davidson. Told me he wants to get back to the World Juniors this year.
So many outstanding talents here in Jamaica in the boys sprints. Levell, of course, there's Nazia John. Spoke about him earlier, 20.79 in the World Under-20 semi-finals in Nairobi last year. Didn't get through to the final. Did make the 100 final in Nairobi, finishing in 7th position. And hoping to deliver a medal for Grenada here. Their medal hopes would have been hit Grenada when Jamora Alves came down with illness and out of 3 field events where she would have been favored to medal. There's Jaden Reed of the Cayman Islands, trains here in Jamaica at Jamaica College.
20.91 man. I think this distance between all of those he does, 100, 200, 400, is his best. Tight inside lane. He's a tall boy, but if he can negotiate the curve, he can get one. Here's Bryan Levell, the favorite, undefeated at 200 this season.
And he hopes to keep it that way. His one defeat at 100 meters came at the hands of the Carifta champion now, DeAndre Daly. This race scheduled for 6:15. Just a minute away from that. The stadium announcer welcoming Kareem Street Thompson, still the long jump record holder. As we look at the lineup, Nazia John in lane number 8 representing Grenada, 20.79 personal best, second fastest in the field. There is Onee Bell. We expected a British Virgin Islands athlete to be in this final, but we thought it would be Jalil Kroll. Bell has already finished 5th in the 100 final, now looks to improve over 200. Sandre Davidson, anchorman on Jamaica's winning team last night, 20.90 personal best, 21.26 in qualifying. Sandre Davidson, he's looking for an individual medal here to go with relay gold. There's the favorite, 20.53 personal best, consistently under 21 seconds, 21.01 in qualifying. Shakim McKay, 21.38 this season, 21.33 at his best, 21.46 in qualifying, competitor 4.13. In lane number 3, the Bahamian, Zion Campbell, looking calm, unperturbed ahead of this final. The Bahamian in lane 3, competitor 48. Then in lane number 2, 20.91 personal best, Jaden Reed of the Cayman Islands, 4th in the 100 meters. Badly wants to take home a medal for his country. And on the inside, in lane number 1, Mascal Beckles of Barbados, slowest into the final at 21.73.
Levell has looked the best in qualifying, balanced and easy, as the fastest time in the semis, 21.01.
Carifta record, once the world under 20 record, 19.93. Usain Bolt, forget about it. Final of the under 20 boys 200 meters.
I expect Levell here to get
set. Stand up, stand up, stand up.
Break at the start. Mascal Beckles of Barbados, hands on head. I think he'll escape this one. I think all will be safe. Needs to calm down.
I think he actually just fell out. He didn't try to move out. I think he just fell. The starters are conferring with the reaction personnel, and then they're going to make their decision.
Green card it will be, as I suspected. She waves that green card most gracefully.
The starter has enormous powers of discretion
on your marks
over a critical area of track and field racing, the start.
Now Mascal Beckles of Barbados needs to compose himself, get ready for battle.
Set.
Off this time. Nazia John flew out in lane number 8. Bryan Levell is also running a brilliant curve, as his teammate Sandre Davidson. The Bahamian Campbell going well on the inside. Levell in front. Davidson chasing him. Jamaica with the 1-2. John gets bronze. Outside 21 seconds, which is really rare for Bryan Levell, but he wins.
The 200-meter final in Kingston unfolded like a showcase of the Caribbean's rising sprint empire, with a lane draw loaded with young contenders hungry for recognition. Lane 1 featured Barbados Mascal Beckles, followed by Cayman Islands sprinter Jaden Reed in Lane 2 and Bahamian prospect Zion Campbell in Lane 3. Trinidad and Tobago's Shakim McKay lined up in Lane 4, with Jamaica's heavily favored Bryan Levell beside him in Lane 5. Home crowd favorite Sandre Davidson took Lane 6, Onee Bell of the British Virgin Islands occupied Lane 7, and Grenada's Nazia closed the field in Lane 8. Even before the race began, it was obvious that the showdown would orbit around Leville, who carried the weight of expectation with ease. Leville arrived as the season leader after clocking 20.53, choosing to concentrate on the 200m following a commanding double win at the Jamaican High School Championships. His resume spans hurdles, the 100, the 200, and the 400, making him one of Jamaica's most adaptable young sprinters. What set him apart today was his icy composure and immaculate transition into the bend, paired with a kind of mid-race surge that signals future greatness. Outside him, Grenada's Nazia, still shaking off jet lag, hinted at danger. With a personal best of 20.7, he had the raw tools to threaten the podium if everything clicked. In Lane 6, Sandre Davidson, fresh off anchoring Jamaica's victorious 4x100-meter team, entered with considerable hype. Some fans whispered comparisons to Usain Bolt, noting Davidson's ferocious turnover and long stride pattern in the last 80 meters. Internally, Jaden Reed plotted his own route to a medal, using his height and technical training in Jamaica to maximize the tight inside lane. The remaining competitors, McKay, Campbell, Bell, and Beckles, each arrived with something to prove, representing their islands with pride and a desire to disrupt the Jamaican dominance. When the officials summoned the sprinters to their blocks, the stadium held its breath. Beckles faltered briefly in the set position but recovered in time. At the sound of the gun, Leville executed a masterful drive phase, carving out a clean lead as he tore through the curve. Davidson chased aggressively, and from the outside Lane launched a determined comeback attempt. The finish became a spectacle. Leville dipped across first in a new personal best of 20.50, validating his status as the region's premier young 200m runner. Behind him, Davidson and Reed both hit 20.9, with the photo finish giving Davidson silver and Reed bronze. The crowd roared, not just for the podium finishers, but for the promise radiating from the entire field. Leville's comeback was especially meaningful after his frustrating runner-up result in the U2100M earlier in the meet. His resilience mirrored the broader narrative. Caribbean sprinting is stacked with emerging power, tactical maturity, and fearless ambition. As the 2025 season gathers momentum, the performances of Leville, Davidson, and their rivals hint at major breakthroughs looming on the international stage. With the World Championships in Tokyo approaching, fans can anticipate these names appearing deeper in rounds, and possibly on podiums. The next wave of Caribbean speed is already accelerating, driven by youth, hunger, and the relentless chase for excellence.